Hello there, I hope this finds you well. I wanted to give a little bit of an update as to where we're at in regard to the yeared journey. For those of you that don't know, I shaved my beard completely off January 1st. So this is about what, 4 months and 13 days as of recording this that we're working with right here. So here we are. So I think there's a pretty good amount of growth. Let me see here. So one finger, 2 fingers. Now, I wanted to walk you through how to trim a beard. I've got some questions in regard to how I care for my beard and keep up with the maintenance, but it's going to be a little bit different than what I normally do if I wasn't growing a yeard. And for those that don't know what a yeard is it's letting the main portion of your beard grow for a full year without trimming it. And there's people go back and forth as far as what a proper yeard is. Some people say you can't touch anything at all. Others say you can clean up the cheek lines, you can clean up the neckline, but you just can't cut the main portion of your beard. So I'm gonna go through how to trim a beard, and I'm gonna give a couple different options in regard to trimming for those of you that might be in the process of growing a year yourself, and those that they just want to shape it. It doesn't matter if they cut the main portion of the beard. So long story long, here we go. Now, first up, before you do anything, you want to make sure that you wash and condition your beard. After that, one thing to kind of be careful of, just a little pro tip, if you will, is when you dry your beard, pat dry it. You don't want to put unnecessary stress on your beard because that will give your beard, I guess, there'll be more of a predisposition for hairs to fall out. And that being said, even before drying your beard, when you are washing or conditioning your beard, you want to use the pads of your fingers as opposed to your fingertips, because the pads of your fingers, that will not have as much stress on your beard as your fingernails would have. All right, so that is that. So once you get out of the shower, what I do is and after I've pat dried my beard, I grab a brush, something like this, nothing fancy. And what I'll do is I'll more or less pick it out. And what this does, it kind of helps with showing the shape of your beard. In addition to that, for longer beards, it helps with manageability. And speaking of the longer beards, what I'll use when I had a longer beard, and what I will use when my beard grows back out, is something like this. And I think the brand is Wet Brush, and it's a detangling brush. This is a lifesaver. It's a beard saver. And yeah, it brushes through your beard a lot easier than, let's say, something like this when you do have a longer beard. So I'll link both of these in the comment or in the description box below, and I'll link everything else that I'm using here for those of you that may have a question as to where you find this stuff. Now for the trimming portion of this, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start at the walls of the beard, which is the side of your beard. Now again, for those of us that are growing yeards, this isn't going to be for you because we can't touch the main portion of the beard, but this is gonna be for everyone else. So first things first, ordinarily, if I were to be trimming my beard and not growing out a year, I grab a pair of clippers, nothing special, and I set the lever right in the middle of open and close, if you can see that right here. And what I do is I point the clippers downwards. And when I point the clippers downwards, I start from the ear and I go down along the beard, just making a slight trim, getting any of the outlying hairs. And this helps with the overall presentation. It gives a more tidy look, and you can shape it. You can go in as far as you want or leave out as much as you want. It's totally up to you, but the technique is the same as far as what I recommend. So again, starting from the ear and going forward, going down. And after you do a pass on each side, go ahead, grab a brush and kind of pick it out. So this will help with maintaining that shape, and it'll bring about any rogue hairs that you might have. So after one pass on each side, brush it out, and then again, grab the clippers, go down. Make sure that you're going very slow, because obviously we can always cut more if we want to cut more, but it's going to take a while if we cut too much for that to grow back. So nice and steady, nice and slow. It's definitely key when taking care of your beard. All right, so that's that. Just looking out for you. So after we have the walls of the beard taken care of, then we go to the front. Now be careful with the front. This is where the largest, the bulkiest part of your beard is, so you want to be extra careful about this. And again, same thing, clippers are down and you're going straight down in front of your beard. All right, next up is the shelf of your beard. The shelf of your beard is this section right here from the, I guess, from the chin back to your neck. So with this area, generally speaking, there should be a slight downward angle from your jaw to the front of your chin. And again, with this one, I can't do this because I am growing a beard, but I can show you what you do. You tilt your head back and then you take your clippers and then you just go straight back. And when you put your head back down, it'll have a nice, gradual, normal, natural looking angle. Now, something that I can actually do is cleaning up my neckline. And as I'm growing out my beard, what I like to do is, so I start bringing my neckline down. And what I mean by that is when my beard's really short, when it was scruff, I had my neckline all the way up to right here. And as the beard, the front of the beard has been covering my neckline, I've been stopping and trimming further down, if that makes sense. So as long as it's hidden, I won't touch it. But if it's showing, I'll go ahead and I'll clean it up until my beard gets to about right here. And then I no longer have to really trim up any portion of my neckline. So with this, I grab a pair of precision trimmers. They're a little more precise than those bulkier clippers. So I just grab this. So what I do here is I start from the front and I work my way back, going up at a slight angle. Now, when it gets to this portion right here, you can either choose to have it curved or have a sharp 90-degree angle. Totally up to you as far as what your preference is on that. I like to have more of a natural curve right at the corners, and that's just my preference. But I've done it both ways. So here we are. Just a quick little cleanup right there. And after the clippers, you can go ahead, you can use a razor if you want, but I just use clippers when I'm cleaning up around the beard. All right, now that we've cleaned up the neckline, what I like to do is work on the outline of the beard. And so for the outline of the beard, we have the top line, we have the base line, and then we have the lip line. So starting with the top line, it's pretty much from the sideburns to your mouth. Now there's two different options that you have. You can do a straight line or you can do a curved line. I go back and forth, and today I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna do a curved line, and I'm not even gonna be that precise. I'm just going to get the hairs on the cheek lines, nothing too crazy, and I'm gonna use clippers. And that's another thing, you can either use clippers or you can use a razor for this, as with everything else, the neckline and also the baseline. So we're gonna do clippers. Just keeping this really quick, really simple, but I will show you what I ordinarily use. So ordinarily, if I wanted to look super tidy, I'd use this straight razor right here. And what I would do is you hold your skin taut up here and just go straight down like this. And it's really simple to make a straight line with this, being that it is a little longer than, let's say, these clippers are. So that helps with the precision of the straight line. And so that you can see the line on your cheek, I use this precision gel. Nothing fancy. I think it's pretty much just aloe vera gel. But I'll put that on, and that's what I use for my shaving cream, because if you are using shaving cream, you can't see the line. So that's where this precision gel really comes in handy. So that is what I'll use at times. Other times when I'm feeling lazy, I'll just use the clippers. So I'll put this away. And I'll also link this stuff in the description box below. Alrighty. So the top line is done. Now, one thing to take note of is the top line, it's very crucial in your beard's overall presentation. It can make your beard look thicker and stronger. And the reason for that is, generally speaking, up here is, I guess, more so the thinner part of the beard for a lot of us. So when you take that out of the equation, you're just left with the dense portion of your beard. So that makes your beard appear stronger overall. I hope that makes sense. All right, so next up, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna work on this portion of the beard, which is the baseline. Now with this baseline, it goes from your earlobe down to your jawline and across. And so we kind of touched on that already with the neckline. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up the rest of it right here. So I go straight down from here and I kind of follow into that curved portion that we made when we were doing our neckline. And I'll do that right now. So I hope you could see what I was doing there. So again, I was just going straight down from my earlobe and kind of going right into that clear line that we had previously made when we were cleaning up the neck. So now I'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, next up is the lip line. Now with the lip line, there's a few options that you have. You can either work on just growing out a mean mustache and you don't touch it whatsoever, but then there's those of us that get super annoyed when you have your mustache hairs going into your mouth. And for those of us that we ended up growing out our mustache, we went through that terrible phase of having to train your mustache to go to the side so that it doesn't go into your mouth. So perseverance did prevail for myself because I don't have to deal with the mustache going into my mouth anymore, but the first couple months were definitely annoying. So with that, what you're going to do is you get your precision clippers again, and what you can do is you just follow your lip line and go as high as you want to with that. So you just simply just go bloop. And there's a few different options out there as far as how to trim your mustache, but I won't get that too deep into it, being that I want to focus mostly on the main portion of the beard. So that is that. Now, we're all cleaned up, and I don't know if you can see or not, but my beard is kind of poofing out. It's getting to the part to where it's not necessarily heavy enough to go down flat, and there are curls that are happening on both sides. So my remedy is for this is there's a couple different ways. You can use a brush and a blow dryer, or you can get yourself a heated beard brush. And what this is right here is that, let me turn this on. So I'm gonna turn this on. Is it turning on? There we go. And I'm gonna let this heat up. So essentially it's like a hair straightener, but it's for your beard. And while this is heating up, I'm just gonna go through my beard and show you what I do once it is heated up. So I take nice gradual, what would you say, passes in the beard going down. And you wanna go nice and slow because that way it gives the heated beard brush enough time to actually heat up the hairs and straighten them out. So I'll go like this on both sides. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Boom, 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 boom. And I just find this a lot easier and more convenient, especially when traveling, as opposed to bringing one of those big old brushes and a big old blow dryer. Just one and done with this. And then this also has, some of the beard brushes out there have this other thing out there. This right here, this is for the mustache. These prongs also heat up, and you just go through, boop. And this helps with keeping your mustache out of your mouth for those of you that, if you're going through that problem. So boom, just like that. All right, and it's still heating up right now, but it's still making a difference even though it's not completely heated up. All right. So that's typically what I do with this. Now let me turn this off, because those two things aren't the only thing that you can do. And a couple of these things that I'm going to show is you should be doing this regardless. So right here I have some beard oil. And what beard oil does is people think that it's just for the beard, and it's not. It's actually to hydrate your skin as well, because when you are growing out your beard, that beard's wicking away that natural sebum, that natural moisture that usually goes onto your skin. It's now going onto your hair and it's leaving your skin dry. So you put a couple drops in your hand, you heat it up in your palms, and you go through and you rub it into your beard with the pads of your fingers again, not your fingertips. You just go like this. So it's giving a little bit of a condition for your beard hairs, but the main priority with this is making sure that it gets down into the skin. All right. So once it's in, you go ahead, you grab a brush, something like this, boom, boom, and you brush this through your beard. Now, what this does is it helps evenly distribute that beard oil throughout your hair and then onto your skin as well. All right. All right, so now there's one more step for those of us that have a rather unruly beard. If you don't want to do the heated beard brush or the blow dryer route, there's also beard balm that you can use. And the difference between the beard balm and the beard oil is the beard balm has beeswax in it. It's thicker, it has a form factor, it has a shaping factor to it. So with this, it can make your beard more manageable. So if you do have any of those rogue hairs that you didn't get when you were trimming your beard, or you can't trim your beard because you're growing a beard balm definitely comes in handy. And so here's what it looks like. And you go ahead and warm it up. So obviously it's a lot thicker than beard oil is. Hopefully you can see that. And then with this, same thing, rub it in your palms. Now, not only does it help with getting those rogue hairs in your beard, it also helps with your mustache. And again, this is something else that you can do to help train your mustache to go to the sides as opposed to down in your mouth. So you got that going right there. All right, so the outline is all taken care of. We have the top line, we have the base, and we have the lip line all good to go. Now, with all of this that was done, it doesn't take that long. And I maybe do this whole routine once a week, if that. And it keeps me from looking horrendously scraggy, especially during this whole year progress. So a little goes a long way. Now, with all that said, oh, also, if you happen to have any insight, feedback, or suggestions for us in regard to trimming a beard or shaping a beard, please let us know in the comment section below. And as always, I hope that you found this video helpful, perhaps intriguing. If you did, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up. And if you aren't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Until next time, peace! We out.